Yo, 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 yo. What's up? What's happening? What's going down? Happy Monday to everybody. Hope everybody's having a pretty good day, pretty good afternoon. We are coming, of course, off our embarrassing loss yesterday to the Carolina Panthers. So we're gonna discuss that a little bit. We're gonna do our weekly player grades. We're gonna do the weekly player grades. Also gonna talk about a post game interview that Brian Burns had. Well, he pretty much called out our quarterback, Desmond Ridder. We'll talk about that for a quick little spell. What else is on the tablet? Oh yeah, we're gonna go back because I actually enjoyed the feedback that I got from you. I actually enjoyed the pushback that I got from some people regarding Terry Fontenot. Should he be blamed? Should he be blameless? Is he doing a good job, a bad job, an okay job? I actually enjoyed that dialogue, so I'm gonna spend just a little bit of more time on that today as well. Of course, I also will be your host today. My name is Toddy. And welcome, welcome, welcome in. Let's start off and get our commercials out the way. Everybody that's coming in, or everybody that's online right now watching. Also, everybody that's going to watch the replay. If you would be so kind and to hit the like button for me on YouTube. As I always say, that lets YouTube know that we are on live, and that way they can shoot the video out to more people. Because once you're subscribed to a channel, you don't always get notified when YouTubers go online. But the more likes and interaction the video get, it helps out the algorithm. It helps YouTube say, hey, this person is online, so let's shoot the video out. Also, Facebook, what's happening? What's going on? Same thing for Facebook. Hit the like button, and that way Zuckerberg and crew will know that we're on live right now, and they'll shoot the video out to different places and different markets. And thank you in advance. I always do appreciate y'all doing that for me. I always appreciate the love as well. So we're gonna get started up here. Get crunk up. Let's do some real quick shout outs also. See everybody who's checking in. We got the Dixon Way in the building. That's Larry and also Shonda. And if you're not subscribed to the Dixon Way, make sure you do subscribe to the Dixon Way. That's some of the best in-game commentary that you're gonna find in the sports world. Covers, of course, all Georgia sports and pretty much all major sports as well. They do a fantastic job. Shout out to you, Larry. This is Ridder and Art Smith to take juice, banging on both of them early. Uh, no sugarcoating things. No more looking at the bright side. It's Monday. And the coach still at his job. That means Mr. Blank doesn't care about winning. I really was hoping I'd wake up this morning to a notification on my phone. But unfortunately, I was sadly disappointed. What's going on with you, Larry? Let's see who else we got checking in. C Dub in the building as always. Appreciate y'all coming through, showing all kinds of love. C Dub, appreciate you, man. Hope you're doing pretty good today. Also, Rustin Moore in the building as usual. Appreciate you showing love, Rustin. Usually after 24 hours, I have calmed down. Me too. But I think I'm actually more pissed off today than I was yesterday. Poverty franchise. Yeah, I done actually cooled down a little bit. Also rested, man. We really 24 hours later after the loss. But I know you're coming from, though. I definitely do. Russ said I want him fired, but I think Arthur can save his job if he throws Ragon and Ritter under the bus. I expected him to do it because he has weasel tendencies. I agree. Let's ring the bell for that. He would draft the quarterback and use that to buy more time. Yes, I can agree with that. Also, Dixon Way says time to bang. Let's get it on. Like Mills Lane say, let's go. Let's see who else we got checking in. Make sure I touch everybody. I got my dog Archangel in the building. What's going on with you, Arch? Ain't seen you in a good minute, brother. Hope you've been doing well. Always a pleasure when you come in here and show some love. Art, you must have been going to the games, man. We've been losing lately. You know you're the good luck charm. Art, you ain't been going to the games, have you, man? Art says fire Archie Smith, fire Ritter, and 5 days we're gone. Art coming in here banging on him. Facebook user says, good evening, good evening, good evening. Appreciate you on that, C-Dub, and good evening to your Facebook user. Let's see. Russell said they wanted him to wear that number 7 so everyone can see his smile and forget about Vic. Possibly. Maybe so. Art says Rich McKay, ASS needs to go also. I'm with you on that. What's up, David? Always glad to have me in here, bro. But idiots in here blaming the defense that only gave up 9 points. So I guess the offense doesn't have to participate in the team's success according to them. Yeah, I've seen that narrative, man. Oh man, we got some people in our fan base that they're just gonna defend the quarterback at all costs, man. It's no matter what. They're just gonna find a way to spin a narrative and just defend the quarterback no matter what. The defense didn't even give up a touchdown yesterday, technically. But yet, like you said, they get thrown under the bus also. Eric Parker in here says, "What's up, bro? Still upset?" Hey, man, I'm still a little ticked off myself, bro. I can't lie to you. I've come down quite a bit from yesterday, but I'm still upset that we lost. But yesterday, I was pretty perturbed that we lost yesterday, man. That was just really unacceptable. It was truly unacceptable. Russell, let's be real. Skip player grades because everyone and their moms catching an F on today. We're gonna see. We gonna see. You know how we do, Rusty, man. We gotta do them player grades whether we win, whether we lose, whether we tie. We gotta do it, man. We gotta keep it 100. If we do them when we win, we gotta do them when we lose too. John Higgins in the building. What's up, Big John? I ain't seen you here in a minute, bro. Glad you came through and showed some love. So, Tyler, what's happening with you, man? I can't even talk about this dang team or coaching staff. I'm just done. Season greetings to you, bro. Season greetings to you also. Happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas. Hope you're doing well also, John. It's always good to have you in here. T-Dub in the building. What's going on with T-Dub? Says, what's up, Tyler? Art Smith didn't get fired. What's really going on? Mr. Blank cares all about his pockets, man. Man, I'm hoping that's not the case, bro. But man, I'm starting to worry about my favorite sports owner. Starting to worry about my favorite billionaire, man. He kind of, I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe he'll just wait until Tuesday and give us some good news. I hope so. Raymond Collins in here. What's up with you, Raymond? Glad you showed some love, came through. What's up, Toddy? Out of all the years watching my Falcons, it's got to be one of the most disappointing. Let's ring the bell on that because he's speaking a lot of truth. I must agree. Because I don't know if high expectations is the proper term to use, but we definitely had higher expectations this year than we've had in past years. And just to watch this team implode in a fashion that they have, man, it's very disappointing, man. It really, really is. It really is. 2021, 2022, I anticipated them down years, so I was willing to deal with them. But this year, I didn't see us as a Super Bowl contending team. I saw us as a playoff team, but I really thought we would be a better team. I'm gonna be honest, man. I don't even know if we are really a good. I think our record has really overrated the team. Because if we had a more traditional, tougher schedule, man, we might only have 3 wins right now, bro. For real. Carlo in here. What's up, Carlo? Glad you came through and show some love, bro. How you feeling? Says, what's up, bro? What's going on with you, Carlo? Let's make sure we touch everybody. Larry from the Dix with 2 likes with 22 watch on the YouTube. Hit the like button. Let's ring the bell on that. Come on, y'all. Let's get these lights up, man. Come on. Let's set a like goal. Can we get the likes up to 40 likes on the live stream? If we can get the likes up to 40 likes on the live stream, man, we're doing good. So we'll set a like goal today. Can we get 40 likes on the live stream, man? I definitely do appreciate that. Facebook user says, Toddy Jones, what's good, fam? I'm chilling like a villain. What's going on with your Facebook user? How you doing? Marina coming through showing love as usual. Hashtag free Kyle Pitts. Let's free Kyle Pitts. Can we please free Kyle Pitts? Kyle Pitts needs to be rising up. He's not rising up right now, man. Please free Kyle Pitts, man. It's crazy, Marina, that every week we come in here. Hashtag free Kyle Pitts. As you know, Marina, we had to take away his unicorn nickname. And Marina, we thought by this time he would have got his nickname back. He would have earned it back, but 2 touchdowns later, still nothing. I mean, 4th overall draft pick, man. Free Kyle Pitts while you still got a higher trade value for him while he's still technically under his rookie contract. And before more teams figure out, well, maybe Kyle just isn't what people thought he was. So yeah, free Kyle Pitts, man. Please, hashtag free Kyle Pitts. What's happening, Marina? Winston checking in the building. What's going on with you, bro? How you feeling? Glad to have you in here. Says, what's going on, Bucket Chat? Smash the like button. Let's ring the bell on that. Please smash that like button. And also make sure to check out Winston and his tag team partner, John, on their YouTube channel, which is the Eye Test. John may come through today, and if so, make sure to subscribe to John with the Eye Test. Run up the likes, run up the comments, and please run up the shares as well. Facebook users, what's good, brother? Terry needs to catch the smoke as well. He drafted these bombs with a bomb head coach and quarterback. Let's ring the bell for that. Yeah, man, let's ring the bell for that. Because to be honest, Facebook user, I wish I knew who this was, but it just comes up as Facebook user. I'm just really surprised that more people are not actually pointing a half a finger at Terry. You know, not saying so much that he deserves to be fired. We're not going that far, but people are acting like Terry Fontenot has came here and just put us. We won playoff games under him. People are actually they're kind of acting like we've had winning seasons under Terry Fontenot, and I'm sitting here like, why is everything 1,000% off the blame? I mean, excuse me, Arthur Smith's fault. I mean, I'm not understanding that part. But we're gonna talk about that a little bit more in just a moment. Monica, how you doing? What's going on? Appreciate you coming through, showing love. Monica says good evening. Good evening to you also, Monica. Hope you having a fantastic Monday. Facebook user said, let's go. Let's get the Facebook user. Let's go. Art says, I'm still very steamed. I went to the game and stood in the cold. Oh man, dang. In the cold, wind and rain, got drenched, sock, pants, hat, stood, put their yellow my lungs out for them to win, and they lose to a 1-12 team. Dang, yeah, I can imagine that you are still ticked off. I don't blame you, bro. I don't blame you. Because those were not good conditions yesterday. It was cold out there, as you said. It was raining out there, also, as you said. And then to watch the Falcons actually lay an egg, pun intended. It's just unacceptable, man. And as fans, we hope at some point that this franchise will get over and beyond that. But it seems like every year, we go through the same thing, same stuff every single year. Davis is on the cusp of a sixth straight losing season. Yeah, unfortunately so. You're right. Third in his regime. Win is enough for the owner. Does he care? Building makes money. So what's his motivation to improve the Falcons? That's a good question. And some of us are starting to wonder, like, man, does Arthur Blank even truly care? He got his massive, beautiful stadium, that brings in money, tons of money for him every year. So come on, Arthur, let us show us something with your actions. But unfortunately, we're not getting that. Art said, yeah, I went to the game. Yeah, man. Sorry that we couldn't pull it out for you at the game, bro. Russell says, I know you don't watch his press conferences anymore, but he threw Dez under the bus today. Oh, I'm surprised by that. I didn't watch it, but I might go back and watch it tonight. He is in job saving mode. His whole demeanor has changed. Reporters are finishing questions. Let's ring the bell for D-Led and all the reporters being able to finish their questions when they talk to Arthur Smith. Let's ring the bell for that. We at least got to ring the bell for the reporters now being able to finish their questions, because before you were never going to finish the question dealing with Arthur Smith. So we got to ring the bell for that. My dog Atlanta supporters in the building. Changes need to happen in Atlanta next year. Yes, I definitely hope so. Always glad to have you in here, Atlanta supporter, bro. Hope you're doing good on this lovely Monday. Art says there's no one in here you can blame this on the defense. Only get yeah. No, nobody should be blaming the defense on that. Facebook user says, well. Here we are. We here. We are here. Travis, what's up, bro? Glad you came through and showed some love. So they beat us with 3 field goals, but the Despians want to blame the defense. WTF? Hey, you know those Despians? They are a special bunch. They are a special bunch, and it is funny, Travis, because even now the Despians they're kind of having to admit, like, Man, Ridder really ain't that good. I'm seeing a lot of them, finally, turn around and just say, you know what, yeah, we might need to find a quarterback because I don't think Desmond Ridder got it in him. So I'm seeing a lot of Despians, turn heel. I'm seeing a lot of them go from baby faces to heels. They're joining the NWO. With Hollywood Hogan. I seen a lot of heel turns yesterday, which was it was kind of comical. Rooting for this team, you got to find certain stuff to laugh at to keep from crying. Alex Too Real in the building. Alex Too Real, what's happening with you, bro? What's going on? We were a joke. Not making a statement. No way that clown coach is still employed. Like I said, I'm surprised he woke up with a job. Myself as well. I don't understand it. Peter Sparker. Peter Sparker. I like your name. That's pretty creative. Says why we didn't just kick it? Are you speaking about the interception? I assume. I don't think it was third or what? I don't think it was fourth down on that play. I don't believe. What was it, y'all? Like second or third down at that time? So if you're talking about an interception, I don't think we were in the down. I don't think it was fourth down at that point in time, if I'm remembering correctly. Let's see. King Atlanta supporter says I'm ready for the Super Bowls for the Atlanta Man YouTube Bowl. Like I say, man, when we meet at the parade, Atlanta supporter, all the drinks are on me, bro. Art says the team is basically out of the playoffs. Yep. Again, you're right. We are out of the playoffs, and I'm basically out of pace with this team this year. Art, a lot of people saying that, bro. Art, like a lot of people are saying, you know what, Toddy, I done mentally checked out, dog. I still love the team. I'm still riding for them, but it is what it is this year. I done checked out this year. I'm saying that from more people this year with this team than I can recall in a long, long time. Facebook user says we are rock bottom right now. Yes, we are. Definitely so. Ark said, and I'm realistic, but usually, Mr. Positive, yeah, you are. Art, you normally very, 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 very positive, very optimistic. You are definitely right about that. More than most, but I'm about out emotionally. Everybody like that, Art. You know, especially when it seems like it's just the average fan that you're giving more than the guys that are making billions of dollars off the team and off the fans. You tend to get like that. David says, "Are we a dysfunctional franchise over?" Absolutely, David. Absolutely, bro. We are super dysfunctional, man. And hopefully nobody gets upset at me for saying that or takes that the wrong way. But I'm just being honest, man. Falcons are a super dysfunctional franchise. Very dysfunctional, man. Super duper dysfunctional. If you looked up in a dictionary dysfunctional NFL franchise, I guarantee that Falcons logo gonna pop up somewhere soon after. What's up, Peter Sparker? What's up? How you feeling? What's going on? Dave said this is completely ridiculous, Toddy. I agree, Dave. Appreciate you coming through and showing some love. And I absolutely agree. Yesterday, man, I was at a loss for words, bro. Yeah, that was just totally unacceptable for me yesterday. I didn't even know how to take that, man. To be real. Monica said I took the flags off my car. I'm done with this season. I told my family we're not going to the Christmas Eve game, not wasting no money. F. Arthur Smith and F. Ridder too. And Monica, hey, that's the same thing Art was just saying. Art was just pretty much saying the same thing. Like this year, I'm done. I'm not wasting any more of my money on this team this year. Emotionally, I'm not finna let them drain me. It's the holiday season. I'm enjoying my family. And not finna let the Falcons team run my blood pressure up. Because if it seems like I'm the only one caring and they just keep losing and losing and losing and get worse, I'm gonna check out. I'll be back next year. Hopefully y'all get it together. So Monica, hey, I totally understand. In fact, I'm gonna ring the bell for that. Ring the bell for that. I totally get it. I totally get it. Art says get my guy Tidy likes and shares up. The video like the Falcons should have been sharing it down to the running back. Yeah, let's ring the bell for that. Please hit the like button and also feel free to share the video as well. Thank you also, Ark. I do appreciate that. Crimzino in the building. What's up, Crimzino? Appreciate you coming through, showing some love. Says, hey, yo, what up, tight end ATL fans? What's happening? What's popping? What's cracking, man? I'm doing good today. Hope everything going well with you. All right, says, and run the ball. My Bronx brother Robinson in the building. What's happening with you, bro? Appreciate you coming through. Says, my brother fired everyone, even the equipment manager. Let's ring the bell for us firing an equipment manager. I'm with it, man. I'm with it. Just to make a statement. Let's get everybody out of here. Dave says Terry has no power. We're gonna discuss that also, Dave, because we had a lot of dialogue and discussion about that yesterday. And in just a moment, we're gonna actually dig back into that conversation. I'm actually glad you brought that up. Iceman 478, what's up with you, Iceman? Appreciate you coming through, showing us love. Just Falcons spent over $280 million in free agency, and they can only win 6 games. Shaking my head. Only the Falcons. Unfortunately for us, man, that's what we do. Only the Falcons. Preston in the building. So this is the worst coach in the Falcons history. Hey, what's up, Preston? Appreciate you coming through, showing some love, man. You probably right it. Let's see. Antoine Wartime TV. What's up, Antoine? Appreciate you coming through, showing some love. What's happening? So no, we're not free Kyle Pitts. No, we're not free Kyle Pitts. Let's get him a good quarterback and a good coach, please. I was hoping that we have that this year, to be totally honest with you, man. I was hoping so. Unfortunately, it didn't happen that way, man. I'm almost positive we'll have a new head coach and a new quarterback next year. So if Kyle Pitts is still here, hopefully they can get the best out of him. But just being honest, Antoine, I would put him on the trading block in the offseason and see what the value is, man. I would put him on the block. I really would. I'll put him on the block. I would put him straight on the block, bro, and see what the market tell me he's worth. And if I like the highest offer I get, off he goes. John Kemp in the building. What's up, John? Appreciate you coming through, showing some love. Says, what's up, Todd? Love your critique of the Falcons. Let's back up the garbage truck and take this Falcons trash to the landfill and dump it in another state. Let's ring the bell for that, man. Appreciate that, John Kemp. And you also got my favorite basketball player of all time in your profile pick, Mr. Kobe Bryant. Rest in peace to Kobe and everybody who lost their life in that unfortunate incident. Appreciate you showing love, John. Crimzino says the pass plays by design are horrendous. I agree. If we don't and can't run the ball, we fold. Smith has no clue what he's doing. He looks lost. He looks defeated. He really does look defeated out there emotionally. And I went back to the Falcons got a special way of just super stressing you out, man. Y'all go back and look at Arthur Smith now. And look at him when he first took the job. That joker done lost so much weight being stressed out with the Falcons now. He done lost so much weight. You know, he came in looking plump, healthy, like, you know, he ain't missing no meals. Man, now that joker look like he's so stressed out. Look like he done dropped about 20, 25 pounds messing with this team. But that's what happens, man. That's the Falcons factor. That's the Falcons factor, man. They gonna make you lose weight. They gonna give you gray hairs. They gonna make your nerves bad. They gonna make your anxiety bad. That's what happens. Dealing with these Atlanta Falcons, man. And y'all please continue to keep the comments going. Continue liking the videos. So let's continue our conversation, and continue to tell me how you're feeling. If you're done with the team, you're fed up with them, you done checked out mentally. Hey, make sure to let me know that, man. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what we here for, man. Continue bringing the comments in. My boy Big Sam in the building. Sam, what's going on with you, dog? How you feeling, man? Says, what's up, folks? What's up with you, bro? Hope everything going well with you. Sam also says we're at rock bottom right now. We are, dog. We are. And this is just not the way I don't think any of us thought we would be at this point in the season, man. Because we just not a good team. When you watching this team, you watching the pieces that we brought in to be the next nucleus of players for the Falcons. You start to wonder, Obviously, Bijan is super talented, but you kind of start to wonder, like, does Bijan have that, like, true toughness in him? Because just like yesterday, it just seemed like he took the game off yesterday. He like, bump it, bump it. I like Drake London. I like Drake a lot. Kyle Pitts, afterthought. Fourth overall pick, and he's already an afterthought. So this is definitely not the season I envision, man, at all. Crimzino said he's turning. Yeah, that Falcons fact that done hit him, bro. It done hit him. You can see it, man. I did see a picture that D. Orlando Ledbetter posted of him at the press conference yesterday. I was like, what? I was like, man. They got Arthur Smith looking like a dope fiend a little bit. Let me stop, man. Let me stop. C does that he caused that effect on him. Dixon Way says Mike Tomlin's on the hot seat to still fire him. We need to hire him within 24 hours. I'm not even joking. I know they say that about Mike Tomlin every year. I think the Steelers have only had what, y'all correct me. I think they've only had 3 head coaches in franchise history, or maybe 4. So normally when they get a coach, man, they ride him out. But if they happen to fire Mike Tomlin, and I'm almost certain the Falcons are gonna fire Arthur Smith. Hey, go get on the phone with him immediately. 4, okay. Appreciate it, Larry. But yeah, if he becomes available, man, shoot, I think he automatically becomes at the top of our short list. Russell Morrison, Mike Tomlin ain't getting fired. I don't think he will either. I don't think so either. Stunts, what's up? Appreciate you coming through. Can't wait to see the breaking news of Arthur Smith being fired. Me and you both. But yeah, y'all continue to keep the comments going, man. Let's cut the music real quick. Let's get the show on the road. One thing I did want to I wanted to show y'all is Brian Burns pretty much called Desmond Ridder out. And this is something a lot of us have been saying all year long about Ridder. This is Brian Burns in the post-game interview. Let me rewind this back. And let's hear what Brian Burns had to say about our quarterback here. If y'all can't hear this, let me know. But let me press play and listen to him call out our quarterback. You normally don't get NFL players calling out other players. I mean, it happens from time to time. Don't get me wrong now. Don't get me wrong. It will happen. But a lot of times, you have that professional respect amongst players, and a lot of times they won't call each other out. But listen to Brian Burns.
I kind of seen it the whole way. I didn't think he was going to throw it because I was already sitting there. But he kind of caught me off guard when he actually threw it, and he threw it hard as shit. So, they're capitalizing off their mistakes, because that wasn't a very good play by Ridder. But just being able to capitalize off their mistakes really made us win this game. So
let's go back again. Let's listen to this game.
I kind of seen it.
And one thing that caught my attention, what he said is, I was sitting there and I didn't think he would throw it. Almost like he thinking like, ain't no way this boy gonna throw this football. And he see really us standing there, because it was like 3 defenders right there. And he threw it anyway. And this really highlights the poor decision making that we got at quarterback. And then he go even further and say, it wasn't a very good play by Ridder. And a lot of times, and like I say, a lot of times NFL players won't call each other out by name, just out of respect for one another. But they show how much respect they got for Ridder.
The whole way, I didn't think he was going to throw it because I was already sitting there. But he kind of caught me off guard when he actually threw it, and he threw it hard as shit. So, they're capitalizing off their mistakes, because that wasn't a very good play by Ridder. But just being able to capitalize off their mistakes really made us win this game. So,
and then he had that little smirk on his face also when he said it. So I just thought that was interesting, man. Just like to see how the opposition or the opponents feel about our quarterback, and the things that they're saying about him publicly. So just imagine, they're feeling behind closed doors. Sam says, what do you think the real problem is? I got to be honest, man. At this point, I think a good bit of the problem is probably at the top with Arthur Blank and his philosophy, his ideology. Because at some point, we've had these last 15 years, We've had a bunch of we've had a good amount of head coaches. You've had two different GMs, and you've had a lot of personnel changes. Had Matt Ryan, and then he gone, and a bunch of quarterbacks after him. We've had our fair share of different offensive and defensive linemen, and all kind of different skill position players. So I feel like there's something off um, with Arthur Blank and Rich McKay and the real top dogs are doing with this team, and the things that they're looking for in head coaches and the kind of players they want to bring in. So I think you have to start at the top, because the teams that really are successful, and they do a lot of winning, one common theme that you always hear from the teams that really win on a consistent basis is, well, we got a good owner, we got good guys, we got great guys in the front office who knows what they're doing. So, not giving all the blame to Mr. Blank, but I think you kind of at some point have to point the finger there, because we pointed the finger, Sam, everywhere but Blank at this point. When Matt Ryan was here, we point the finger at Matt Ryan. Mike Smith was here, we point the finger at Mike Smith. Point the finger at the defense. We point the finger everywhere. And at some point, you gotta say, you know what, bro, you the boss. You know what I'm saying? You the boss. Any other business, when the company continuously fails, you look at the very top to find the root of the issue. Christy Lewis in the building says, "Hey, y'all, what's up with you, Christy? How you doing? How you feeling? Appreciate you coming through." Laughing at your profile picture also. Um, Also, before we get to the player grades, I want to go over the Terry Fontenot talk again. And let me say this. And y'all feel free to tell me how you really feel, especially if you disagree with me, because we had a real good conversation, I thought, about Fontenot yesterday. But I do want to put this disclaimer out here. I don't think Fontenot needs to be fired. I do think Arthur Smith needs to be fired. So I want to say that before we get real deep into this Fontenot conversation. I don't think Fontenot needs to be fired right now, but I do think Arthur Smith needs to be fired. But what I'm seeing from the fan base and how we're approaching things right now, because we're upset, and y'all know how it goes when you get upset. A lot of times you got to find a scapegoat, and Arthur Smith is our scapegoat, and rightfully so. Again, I think it's time for him to go. But I'm just wondering, like, how is Terry Fontenot escaping any criticism at all? I'm seeing people say that Terry's good. Terry's doing a great job. And I'm wondering, like, what has he done since he's been here to make us think that he shouldn't face any criticism? Because I'm seeing people like, no, you can't say nothing bad about Terry. None of this is Terry's fault. And I'm wondering to myself, like, how in the world could none of this be Terry's fault? I can understand if you want to give most of the fault to Arthur Smith. Hey, I'm with you on that. Let's go. I'm riding with you on that one. But when the narrative is none of this is Terry's fault, Terry deserves absolutely no blame, I'm like, whoa, hold on. Wait a minute. That's the general manager. How can he not get any blame? And and a lot one common thing that I'm seeing was, look what he did with the salary cap. He did an amazing job with the salary cap. And I'm like, yeah, okay, he did good, but over and beyond everything else, those contracts were gonna expire anyway. It ain't like we had Matt Ryan and Julio Jones and Deion Jones locked in at 10-year deals, and Terry just went and became a contract whisperer and took a 10-year contract and made it to a 2-year contract by some magic words he said. No, the contract simply ran out. The cap hit, the dead cap hits was still there, but the contract simply ran out. So there was no like any magic that Terry did there. I mean, it's just a contract that had 2 years left on it. We just had to wait the 2 years for them to run out. Period. So that's one common thing that I'm seeing is like, oh, well, the contracts just ran out, y'all. I mean, like, Terry ain't doing that special with that. And I'm not trying to take anything away from Fontenot either. But I'm trying to look at this thing from a logical and balanced perspective and not just make one person, let me repeat, not just make one person the scapegoat for accumulation of bad things that's going on in Flowery Branch. That's pretty much how I'm trying to present this point of view here regarding Terry Fontenot. Another thing that I see people say about Terry Fontenot, well, he didn't get the opportunity to hire his own coach. You work for Arthur Blank, nobody's hiring their own head coach. Thomas Dimitrov did not hire Mike Smith. Trust me on that. Arthur Blank hires his coaches, or he's gonna go get the firm to hire his coaches. Y'all know Mr. Blank will go get a firm in a minute. Okay, who's the best coach? I'm gonna get his firm $400,000 and go tell me who I should hire. When Dan Quinn came here, it ain't like Dimitrov said, yeah, Dan Quinn. No, they put a firm in, and from that point, the candidates got narrowed down, and we ended up with Dan Quinn. So that's another misnomer that I'm seeing whispered in the fan base, where he didn't get an opportunity to hire his own coach. If they fire Arthur Smith tomorrow, don't think for 1 second Arthur Blank gonna say, well, okay, well, Terry, here, hire the coach. Hire the coach. No, it's gonna be Arthur Blank. He may or may not do his famous head coach search firm, but don't think for 1 second he's gonna just let Terry Fontenot just hire a coach, on his own. So that's another thing that I'm seeing among the fan base when it comes to Terry Fontenot. And another thing that I see as well, you know, Terry Fontenot isn't responsible for any of the drafting. He's just going to draft the players that Arthur Smith tell him to draft. And I'm like, I'm wondering to myself, like, where y'all get that from? Because now one thing I do pay attention to, because I be bored, especially in the off season as far as sports go, because don't know football be on. So when the Falcons have press conferences, when they start to talk, I'll listen. Okay, let me see how they approach in the off season. Let me see if I can catch something based on what they said in his press conference. So in the off season, when Arthur Blank started talking, I listen. I'll listen. When Arthur Smith started talking, I'll listen. Sometimes I'll even watch it 2 times just to make sure, like, okay, what am I hearing? Let me process. Let me process what we're gonna do this year. When Terry Fontenot started talking, I listened, and all 3 of these guys have the same answer. The draft process, free agent process is a joint effort. They're all saying it's a joint effort. They're not just saying that Arthur Smith tells Terry who he wants, and then Terry just follows suits. Like, Terry just has absolutely no power, absolutely no say so. And I think when people like present that type of argument, you're doing Terry a disservice. Because keep in mind, he has more football experience on his resume than Arthur Smith does. He was the talent evaluator in New Orleans. So to just pretend like Terry has absolutely no say so, I really can't buy that part of it. And also, I went back and looked at something, y'all, and I want y'all to look at this with me as well. Let me take this off the screen real quick. I went and looked at something, and this really caught my eye. And I want y'all to watch this with me and tell me if you picking up the same thing I'm picking up from it. Hold on, let me share my screen real quick. All right, there we go. Hold on just a moment. Dang, I should have had this queued up already. All right, there we go. There it is. Okay. Now, this is behind the scenes in the 2021 draft. Behind the scenes in the 2021 draft. This is their very first draft as a collective. And of course, this is the draft when we got Kyle Pitts. And there was a lot of there was some reports that came out that were saying that Terry and Arthur were at odds on who should they take. You know, there were some reports. Nobody ever substantiated those reports, but there was some reports about that. The narrative that us fans have painted, and I'm putting myself in that group when I say us fans, the narrative that us fans painted was, well, Arthur wanted the tight end. Arthur Smith wanted the tight end, and Terry just had to fall in line. That was the narrative that us fans painted. Arthur Smith wanted the tight end, and Terry Fontenot just had to fall in line. But when I went back and I started like looking at things, researching things, this video in particular actually makes me think that Terry wanted the tight end. It makes me think that Terry wanted this tight end. That's what it makes me think. I'm looking at this video and I'm reading body language. That's what I'm looking at. I'm like, okay, let me see the body language on everybody. I'm reading body language. Now, unless Terry Fontenot is a Denzel Washington, Will Smith type of actor, unless he got them kind of acting skills, his body language and his reaction is telling me, yes, this is my guy. This is who I wanted. This is my guy. I'm noticing Arthur Smith is sitting down. I'm noticing Arthur Blank is sitting to Smith's right. But the body language is telling me that this was Terry's guy. This is who I wanted. So let's take a moment and look at the video.
Trey Lance.
You called it a month ago.
Let's go back. Let's watch it again.
Trey Lance.
You called it a month ago.
Look at Terry. When he heard that they were taking Trey Lance, yes, I get Kyle Pitts. Face lit up. Look how he moving. He's not looking or moving like a guy that didn't get the guy he wanted. To me, it looked like Arthur Smith was sitting there like, man, I want the damn quarterback. You know? To me, it seemed like Arthur Smith was way less enthused about knowing that, okay, well, we're about to take Kyle Pitts. Terry looks excited because he's about to draft the guy that he's been campaigning for all through the draft process. This does not look like a guy who was campaigning and arguing about a quarterback. Let's watch it again.
Trey Lance.
You called it a month ago.
Terry is the most exciting guy in the room. Almost like, I'm about to get my guy. I'm about to get my guy. This does not look like a man who was disappointed that he was about to draft Kyle Pitts. You know, so maybe we have this whole thing incorrect. I'm not saying we do or don't, but we've created this narrative that, well, Arthur Smith made us get Kyle Pitts. Arthur Smith wanted Bijan Robinson. So Terry, that's who he had to go with. Watching this video, y'all, this video is telling me something totally different. I'm just saying, watching body language and watching reactions. Arthur Smith did not look like he was overly excited that they were about to draft Kyle Pitts, Art Smith kind of looked like, man, I kind of want me a quarterback here. You know, hey, y'all, give me a quarterback. I kind of think Mariota was an Arthur Smith guy, obviously, because he worked with him before. And I'm starting to think Desmond Ridder was the Terry guy. Because as I was looking and researching things, I'm seeing a lot of film, a lot of interviews where Terry Fontenot talking about, well, yeah, Des is the type of guy we wanted. I've been watching him and looking at him, and we've been scouting him, you know, for a couple years now in college. So when they're doing their interviews and everything, I'm watching and listening to Terry Fontenot jump in the forefront. This is why we drafted this guy. This is why I drafted this guy. This was my mind state. And as I said yesterday, Terry has always preached his best player available philosophy. This always been Terry's philosophy. And going back to the Kyle Pitts, Desmond Ridder thing, Terry, and this is still on the internet, you can find it. Terry said he wanted to follow Kansas City's blueprint by building up the roster first and then going to get the quarterback later. So building up the roster, that means, okay, I'm going to take a tight end at 4, another pass catcher at 8, and a running back that I truly didn't need at 8 again in the first round. And now I'm not trying to defend Arthur Smith, but at the same time, I'm just like wondering, like, how is Terry just so blameless in all this? And again, I know how our fans are, you know, and I'm including myself in this. You know, when things are going bad, hey, we got to find a scapegoat. Somebody got to find. Somebody got to play the scapegoat role. When Mike Smith stopped winning, Mike Smith, buddy, you got to be the scapegoat. Everything wrong with the Falcons is solely your fault, Mike Smith. So all those fans jump down your throat. Let's get Mike Smith out of here. Mike Smith ends up getting fired. I remember there was a time when Kyle Shanahan first came, this fan base, well, oh, look what Kyle Shanahan did to Matt Ryan. He's the worst offensive coordinator he could ever have gave Matt Ryan. 2016, then Kyle Shanahan is no longer the scapegoat because we saw what him and Matt did in 2016. Now Kyle Shanahan is, before the Super Bowl, was one of the most loved coaches we've ever had. But in 2015, we wanted him to be the scapegoat. Everything that's wrong with the Falcons is Shanahan's fault. It's all Kyle Shanahan's fault. He's an arrogant prick. Look what he's done to Matty Ice. 2017, after Kyle leaves, Sarkisian becomes the scapegoat. Oh, it's all Sarkisian's fault. I'm telling y'all, Sarkisian. He's a scapegoat. Sarkisian. But Matt Ryan with Sarkisian had arguably his best year of his career in 2018. When the pattern tells you that it just takes Matt Ryan is probably gonna have a off year, the very first year with a new coordinator, they need to get to know each other and mesh. But everybody want to blame Sarkisian. I remember that like yesterday. Oh, it's Sarkisian's fault. Then Dan Quinn became this. Oh, it's Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn got to go. It's all Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn ain't doing this. He ain't doing that. Dan Quinn. And since we fired Dan Quinn, we still ain't won. We ain't had a winning season yet. So ultimately, what I'm trying to say is Arthur Smith should be fired. But let's stop acting like Terry Fontenot is absolutely blameless in this thing right here. Let's stop acting like he deserves absolutely no blame at all in this. You know, he drafted Kyle Pitts, or they drafted Kyle Pitts. He a part of that. He a part of the Bijan pick. He a part of the Troy Anderson pick in the second round. Just like we'll give him credit for the Nate Lemon pick. Great pick. Tyler Algier, great pick. But we can't just pick out, we can't just nitpick the good from Terry Fontenot. Well, I'm just gonna talk about the good stuff. Well, no, let's ignore the bad stuff and let's blame everything on Arthur Smith. The stuff that we don't like, is all on Arthur Smith. The good stuff that we do like, let's give Fontenot credit for that. I just don't get that part of it. When Fontenot is the general manager, he's the general manager. So all the good is because of Fontenot, but all the bad is because of Smith. You know, that's so unbalanced and so unfair. And don't get me wrong, I do think and I want Arthur Smith to be fired. And I do think Fontenot deserves to stay. But we gotta stop acting like he is without fault or he shouldn't be criticized or he shouldn't be questioned. Because Terry is going into his third year as a general manager, and he still don't have a winning season. And he's 6-8 right now. So Terry has to win out now to get a winning season. He can't lose another game. If he does, third consecutive losing season. And I propositioned this last night. If we fire Arthur Smith, you bring in another head coach, I'm knocking wood, it don't happen. But if we lose again in 2024, are y'all really going to tell me at that point in time, well, no, Terry good. Terry good, he fine. That's two different head coaches. I think Arthur Smith needs to be fired, and I think Fontenot's seat is a little warm. You know, I won't jump out the window and say his seat, he's on the hot seat. Because when you're on the hot seat, the next step is fired. But I think his seat is warm. You bring a new coach, a new general manager in here because you need to start winning, not to continue losing. I've said this a few times, but if we were going to continue to keep losing, you might as well keep Dimitrov and Quinn. If we were going to continue to lose, what's the point in firing Dimitrov if the next guy is still going to lose also? What's the point in firing Quinn if the next guy is still going to lose also? So by me saying that, I'm just saying you can't sit here and play like Fontenot is totally blameless. You know, that he gets a 98 on his progress report, and Arthur Smith gets a 42 on his progress report. That is not really looking at the big picture on things. You know, to me, that's just trying to find somebody to make your scapegoat. And obviously, that's going to be Arthur Smith, and more than likely, he will be fired at the end of the year. And I think Terry will be retained. But we got to stop pretending like Terry shouldn't be critiqued. Every first round pick under the Fontenot era has been very questionable. The Kyle Pitts pick, very questionable. Drake London pick, a questionable pick. Bijan pick, a questionable pick. So you telling me a regime with every first round pick has been questioned? That general manager shouldn't get no heat because of that? You mean to tell me that the head coach got to take all the heat for the drafting? The head coach got to take all the heat for what happens on the field. He got to take all the heat for quarterback and player development. He got to take all the heat for what he said in press conferences. And Terry just get to sit in the back scot-free. I'm good. No, that's no, I'm straight. I ain't, I'm good. I'm the Teflon Don. You know, y'all can't say nothing about me. I'm the Teflon Don. I just can't vibe on that one, y'all. I can't vibe on that one, y'all. I'm sorry. I cannot vibe on that one. My boy Nick in the building. What's up, Nick? Appreciate you coming through, showing some love, bro. Hope you're doing good today. Since fans are emotional, irrational, and fickle, very few able to have a logical discussion, let alone make decisions for organization, which have ramifications financially, organizationally. This is the Madden. Also, people grow fond of people. Also, folks have families. These are things fans don't think or care about. Those guys meet regularly. I'm sure. Let's ring the bell for that. Perfectly said, bro. And see, that's like a well thought out balanced reply and a perspective on everything. And a very key thing that Nick say right here, those guys meet regularly. I'm sure, and I'm sure they do. And I'm sure they do. And I think, Nick, that's why I got like this perspective I got on. Hey, I'm good with Terry staying. I think Terry should stay. I don't think he should be fired, but like we can't pretend like he shouldn't be questioned now. He ain't got to win a season under his belt yet. We can't act like he shouldn't be questioned. And when you say that, then you I don't feel like you saying, well, he ain't picked his own head coach is true, because at the end of the day, Arthur Blank is gonna pick that coach. Terry ain't gonna hire that coach. Arthur Blank gonna hire that coach. And he's gonna expect them to work together as a unit. Y'all, we've been Falcons fans forever. Y'all know how the Falcons front office work. Y'all know how it work, man. Ain't no one man above the ship, man. As far as the general manager and the assistant general managers, in some cases with us, and the head coach, y'all know that stuff be joint decisions. When Quinn was here and Dimitrov was here, and I forgot who everybody else they had in the front office, but they all said the same thing. These are joint decisions. When Mike Smith was here, Dimitrov was here, these were all like joint decisions, man. It's not like just one man doing this and saying this, and you got to do what I say or do what I do. It's not like that, y'all. Or at least not based on what I be gathering from the Falcons when I listen to them talk, because they're always saying something totally different. Last time Arthur Blank spoke on it, he said it's a joint decision between his head coach and his general manager. And sometimes they don't always agree about things, but he loves the fact that they can talk it out and come to a common ground. So that lets me know right there that Terry Fontenot has a good bit of power and decision-making ability when it comes to the players that we draft or the players in free agency. And if you really think about it, Arthur Smith was the person that let the cat out the bag. Like, yeah, we did actually talk about Lamar Jackson. That's almost like Arthur Smith is kind of saying, hey, man, I was the guy in the room that was saying, man, we should go get Lamar. And I probably was outvoted because Arthur Smith is the person that put that on the table, if y'all remember in the offseason. Arthur Smith brought that to the public. Yeah, we definitely discussed it. It was talked about. That was Arthur Smith that said that. That was not Terry Fontenot. And a lot of times when a person says that, it's kind of like, yeah, I was thinking about it. I brought it to the table, but I got outvoted. But I brought it to the fellas, man. The fellas just didn't think it would be a good idea, but I definitely brought it to the fellas. So I mean, I just don't feel like once again in closing on this Terry Fontenot thing, man, that you can just not blame him for nothing. That if this franchise is doing so bad right now, we're in a bad place, obviously, that you can honestly say, well, Fontenot gets no blame. He good. He's straight. I just don't. I just got a hard time with that, man. And I want Arthur Smith fired. This is not a defend Arthur Smith broadcast right now, y'all. This is not. It's not a defend Arthur Smith broadcast. I'm good if they fire him at 6 p.m. this evening. I'm great with that. But I do feel like you got to put some blame, or you got to at least put some criticism on Fontenot as well. He just can't be blameless, y'all. I just don't see how that is. I don't see it. I don't get it. I do not understand it one bit at all. One bit at all. Let me read some of the comments real quick. My bad, y'all. I was kind of like just talking. My fault. Christy Lewis says, how does Smith's failures on Terry when Smith was hired before Smith. Hold on. When Smith was hired before, I think you mean when dang, Chrissy, you confused me a little bit. When Smith was hired before Fontenot, usually the GM is hired and it is a part of the decision making for the head coach. Terry did not have that. And that's what I was saying a moment ago, Christy. Like Arthur Blank gonna hire who he want to hire. That's just how he roll. You know, he's not gonna say, well, Terry, you know, who do you want to be the head coach? Or whoever Arthur Blank want to hire, that's who he's gonna hire, and he's going to expect his general manager and his head coach to work in conjunction, to work as a duo. You know, if he ever comes across somebody in Flowery Branch that develops the kind of cachet or resume where he feels like he can give them more power, you know, somebody comes and mess around and win a Super Bowl or two while Blank is still here, then he will probably like, hey, who do you want? Who you got to call, dog? Who you want? But we don't have a Bill Belichick. We don't have an Andy Reid. You know, in general manager terms, where Blank is just going to allow you to decide who you want him to hire. You know, that'd be Arthur Blank calling all them shots. Him and Rich McKay. And I feel like the failures fall on both of them. You know, I just don't feel like you can just solely give all that to Arthur Smith and pretend like Fontenot has absolutely nothing to do with nothing. You know, I just don't get that. I don't get it one bit at all. Let me see here. Devin says stop living in hindsight. Not sure what you mean by that. I might have missed something. Like I said, I just been rambling. Devin says Shanahan has lost 2 Super Bowls in the same fashion. Logical fans are simply waiting for him to fail again. Possibly, you know. I know a lot of Falcons fans don't like Kyle Shanahan, and they love for him to fail. But for me, it don't matter one way or the other in regards to what Kyle is doing. Even with Kyle Shanahan, you know, scapegoat. You know, does Kyle should Kyle get a lot of blame for what happened on Super Bowl? Absolutely, but it wasn't all on Kyle. That was a joint effort. You know, even my guy Devonta Freeman. Some people want to solely blame him for the Super Bowl loss. You know, it just matters which scapegoat you want to use. You want Kyle to be the scapegoat for the Super Bowl, or you want Devonta Freeman to be the scapegoat for the Super Bowl. It was a joint choke effort by everybody included. You know, Kyle Shanahan caught the crazy game and he went to another team and did it again. But do I solely blame him for losing the Super Bowl? No, I don't. To me, that was just a joint effort, joint choke job, uh, in incredible fashion at that. Uncle Steve in the building. What's up with Steve? How you doing today? Y'all make sure to check out Uncle Steve also on YouTube as well. I'm pretty sure most of you are already subscribed to him, but if not, make sure to show Unc some love. Run up the shares, run up the comments, and also run up the likes as well. And I'm sure Steve, or I think he'll be on for the Monday Minutia today, which is normally at 6 or 7 o'clock. Steve, make sure to let us know in the comments. He says accountability should be questioned from top to bottom. There are definitely levels of blame, but no one is exempt, not even Freddie the Falcon. He's on the hot seat too. Let's ring the bell for us putting Freddie the Falcon on the hot seat. Y'all. Let's ring the bell for that. And I agree. I totally agree with Steve. Like, you know, hey, accountability, man, is from the top to the bottom, from the rooter to the tutor, from the left to the right. You don't take the accountability pie and give 98% of the accountability to one person, because again, that's the scapegoat, and just act like the other person, like, no, you good, you everything gravy with you. You know, not with a regime who went 7-10, 7-10, and now we're currently at 6-8. You know, everybody get a little piece of this accountability, just like Steve is saying. Like, you know, nobody is exempt from this. Not even Freddie the Falcon. You know, so I totally agree. Let me see what else. Krista says, thanks for great content. Makes us think about all the possibilities of success and failure. Every area needs improvement. Totally agree with you on that, Kristen. Appreciate the compliment. Thank you very much. and that's kind of like that's how I'm trying to approach and look at everything. Like every area needs improvement, and that's some of the reason that I am talking about Fontenot right now. Like, hey man, I'm still rocking with you, bro. Even though even though I done gave up on Arthur Smith, but I'm still rocking with you. But like, hey man, you got to improve. You know, this is your regime with these first round picks that people are still questioning to this day inside the fan base, outside the fan base. I talk to plenty of people outside the Falcons fan base, Christy, and they all be wondering, like, man, y'all didn't really need Bijan. I hear that so often outside the fan base. Man, y'all didn't really need Bijan. Like, and Kyle Pitts, like, why y'all take Kyle Pitts? I'd be like, man, I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking about when they took Kyle Pitts, man. Your guess is almost as good as mine at this point. I have no clue what their train of thought was at the point in time. But Fontenot has preached and preached and preached about best player available. So obviously they figured a tight end at 4th overall and the running back at 8th overall when you already have a young second-year running back who just set a franchise record for best players available. So just like I got tired of Arthur Blank and the Falcons for life thing, preaching that and hollering that every time. Every time it was trying to get somebody a new contract, he almost was like, that's a badge of pride of Falcon for life. Even though I'm about to mess up our negotiation and our leverage, let me tell you, you're a Falcon for life. Just like I'm glad he stopped doing that. And Arthur Blank admitted himself that was not a smart thing to do. At this point, I'm kind of want Terry to chill out with the best player available thing. You know, keep your draft strategy in your back pocket. You know, if that's what you're gonna do, and okay, but keep it to yourself. You know, there's no reason to advertise and tell us what you're doing or how your strategy works. Just keep it in your pocket. You know, I'm personally I'm tired of hearing best player available. It grew thin on me very, very quick when I heard best player available. So keep it in your back pocket, Terry. Anthony, what's up, bro? How you doing? I appreciate you coming through, showing some love. Anthony says the whole organization is at fault. Let's ring the bell for that. For what's going on with the Falcons, from Arthur Blank down to Desmond Ridder, Terry picked Ridder. Arthur Smith was supposed to develop him. Let's ring the bell for that again. And that's what I'm really at with it, Anthony, is like, hey, man, everybody deserves some of this, man. You know, you can't be this bad for 3 straight years. And even if we're going to jump into another administration with the Falcons, you can't be this bad for 6 straight years. And everybody don't get some blame here, man. You know, I just don't feel like we can pick who we like the best out of the two, the general manager and the head coach, and say, well, let's not talk about his faults. Let's not criticize him because he ain't did no wrong. But the guy that I don't like, that Arthur Smith guy, oh yeah, we're gonna give him all the blame. And if anybody who's been like watching my content for at least some months now, y'all know I've been on Arthur Smith. I've been on Arthur Smith. You know what I'm saying? I've been on Arthur Smith. You know, I didn't got behind his microphone and drug him through the mud plenty of times. You know, I was dragging him through the mud for his press conferences. And, you know, I would catch some heat from people about that. But so, you know, I've been on him. But at the same time, man, like, I just don't think you can blame him for every single thing that's going wrong in Flowery Branch. You know, some blame, yeah. Significant amount of blame, yeah. But blame him for everything and acting like Terry is Mr. Perfect. You know, Terry does no wrong. Terry has made not one mistake since he's been here. Terry hasn't made a bad draft pick. Terry hasn't set us up for a bad draft strategy. To act like that's not the case, hey man, come on. Come on, you know. That to me, that's just a lot. That's a good bit of bias, and that's not, you know, looking at the total big picture of what's going on with the failures of the Falcons. Red in the building from Red's channel. Red, how you doing, my man? And y'all make sure to check out my guy Red, one of the youngest YouTube creators that you're gonna find on the platform, and already one of the best Falcons content creators you're going to find on the platform. So y'all please do me a solid, man, and make sure you follow my guy, Red. He does a lot of great things at a very young age, and he's a very knowledgeable young cat as well. Says, imagine if we had passed on Kyle Pitts and gotten Waddle or Sewell, but Nate Sewell, let me read the rest of the comment. In 2021, then in 2022, trade down for London, not at 8. Then this year, take someone like an edge rusher or trade down for Bijan. I think those are all good deals or good ideas, I should say. Even the thing with Bijan, I forgot what pick the Detroit Lions got Jahmyr Gibbs at. I think it was around 14, but he didn't go as high as Bijan did. And you can actually make a valid argument that Gibbs has been just as effective for the Lions this year and compare it to Bijan for the Falcons this year, you know. So you make a good point on that also, and also Penei Sewell. Of course, hindsight being 2020, but I think we most of us can agree now that Penei Sewell would have been a better fit for an Arthur Smith system. Definitely a much safer pick and been a better fit, you know, a lineman that can play two positions, guard or tackle. So yeah, that's a great idea, Red. Let me see. Red also said, is it a bad thought to tank? Me being a fan, I'll never come out and say I want them to lose. I mentioned this last night, Red, but it wouldn't. I mentioned this last night. It wouldn't be the worst thing if we lost out. I'm not gonna sit here and cry a bunch of tears if we don't win another game. You know, but at the same time, I'm not gonna wake up on Sunday and say, "Well, I hope the Falcons lose today." It's just something wired in me. I guess being a fan for the team so long that I just always want them to win. You know, I'm always cheering for them to win the game. I'm always cheering for them to make the first down, to complete passes, to make tackles. So I want them to win. But on the flip side, if we don't win another game, it's definitely not the worst thing in the world that could happen to us. It could possibly be a blessing under disguise or in disguise. Devin says, I don't understand. I don't think you understand that Terry Fontenot has given Arthur Smith all of the talent that he needs, and Arthur Smith still can't win. When you say, I don't think you understand that Terry Fontenot has given Arthur Smith all of the talent that he needs, and Arthur Smith still can't win. Interesting. I don't even know where to start with that one. If you feel like Terry Fontenot did Arthur Smith a big favor by giving him Desmond Ridder for the most important position on the team, and he can't win with a talent like Desmond Ridder, you know, one of the most talented quarterbacks in the NFL, Fontenot did Arthur Smith a huge favor and blessed him with Desmond Ridder, but it's Arthur Smith's fault that he can't get the best out of Ridder. See, interesting. Especially when you say all that talent, because we got to start with the elephant in the room, the quarterback position. You know, so if Arthur Smith can't win with a talent like Desmond Ridder, then it's Arthur Smith's fault, and Terry did his job. Interesting perspective, Devin. David starts with good news. Beck's returning for his senior season. Go Dogs. Let's go hit the Go Dogs on that. And I figured that he would. It's a lot of good quarterbacks coming out, and I really think Beck would do himself a favor by coming back and trying to solidify himself as possibly a top 5, maybe a top 3 NFL draft pick. So I think that's a good thing for him. I really wish Brock Bowers would come back, but I know he gone. I definitely know he gone, and he should go. But I love to have him back. Travis says the only person that the Deadspins have blamed haven't blamed surprisingly is Mother Nature. Now I don't know, Travis. I've seen some of them. I've seen a few of them blame the weather in some of these games. I saw it yesterday. And I also saw some of them blame it for the New York Jets game. So you ain't gonna slip a lot by the Desmond's now. Okay, so Steve will be on at 7 p.m. So y'all make sure to check out Steve for the Monday Minutia at 7 p.m. And I'll be tuning in also. Hopefully I'll see y'all there as well. And he says yes to go. Oh, let's ring the bell for Goat Freeman. Let's ring the bell for the Goat. He says the GOAT gets about 70% of the blame. There goes Steve. Hating on Devontae as usual. Hating on Devontae when we all know Devontae was the best player on the field in the Super Bowl. Why the Falcons went away from him, it still confuses me to this day. If we would have gave GOAT Freeman the ball 30 times, the Falcons would have had their first Super Bowl in 2016. But the moment we went away from Devontae, that's when everything went bad for us. Everything went left. But that was such a crucial loss. But I won't dig it too deep in that Super Bowl because I end up going down the rabbit hole. Devin says this team had 0 offensive weapons before Terry Fontenot, but yeah, he's the problem. I'm not saying that Fontenot is the problem. What I am saying is he can't be blameless. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying he's the problem. I'll repeat this probably for the 4th time. I want Arthur Smith to get fired. I think Smith deserves to get fired. I think Terry Fontenot deserves to keep his job. So standing firmly on that. And you say this team has 0 offensive weapons before Terry Fontenot, but yeah, he's the problem. Well, you really got to break that down a little bit. The prior administration, the Mintroff administration, they drafted a quarterback who turned into a franchise quarterback. And now we're seeing how difficult it is to find franchise quarterbacks. Shout out to Matt Ryan. So they inherited a franchise quarterback who, obviously was past his prime, past his good days. Also, one of the best wide receivers of our time, Julio Jones, he was getting ready to make his exit. You still had Calvin Ridley on the team, who at that point was a weapon for Atlanta. It's just unfortunate the way things happen for Calvin. So 2 of your main skill positions on offense, we've already discussed, were still returning from the prior regime. Wide receiver, quarterback. Didn't have a running back, so I'll give Terry and his crew all the props in the world for what they done with the running back position. And they should have stopped. They should have stopped at Tyler Algier. They went overboard when they had Bijan. But, you still had some good players on offense from the previous regime. You had the best player on the team from the Mintroff era, Chris Lindstrom. And also McGarry, who ended up becoming a player. Jake Matthews, serviceable left tackle. So I'll happily give Terry Fontenot his deserved credit. He deserves some credit. He also deserves some blame. And that's really what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying that he's the problem or he should be fired. He deserves some credit, and he also deserves some blame. He does not have a winning season. He has a lot of questionable draft picks. Diva, what's up? How you doing? Appreciate you coming through, showing some love. How's everything going today? So that I've looked at both sides. I would be fine with Arthur Smith if we had an offensive coordinator, quarterback coach specifically, so he can focus on other things. We need a quarterback, whether we keep Smith or Ridder. Whether we keep Smith or not, Ridder's not it. I agree with you on that. If some chance we do keep Arthur Smith, you got to go get a quarterback. My preference is to go draft a quarterback in the draft. That's my preference. So we can have a young guy on a rookie deal for 4 years and continue to stack the team before it's time to pay him. Because normally what happens when it's time for you to pay that franchise quarterback, normally that's when your salary cap starts to suffer. As long as you don't got a franchise quarterback contract on your roster, 9 times out of 10, your salary cap gonna always look lovely. So I would rather continue to build a roster because we got a lot of guys on defense on 1-year deals. So we're gonna be active in free agency on defense again after this season. So my preference is to get a rookie quarterback, and you still will have Ridder here. He's still on the contract, and technically Taylor Heinicke is still on the contract also. So you do got some veteran or a veteran in the quarterback room also. And if Arthur Smith does happen to stay, maybe one of the conditions is that he has to hand over, or he no longer can be the guy that calls the plays. Maybe that's one thing that they'll do also. We'll wait and see how that go. Rusty going crazy. Let's see what else we got. Albert, what's up? Appreciate you coming through, showing some love. How you doing today? Says Tidy, I think Terry drafted players to be the poster boys for the Falcons, and Arthur is making them look bad, especially Bijan. Arthur is forcing him down our throats. Bijan, what's up, Albert? And I said this yesterday about Bijan, man. He just has these games sometimes where he just seems like mentally he isn't there. Almost like he has this nonchalant, I don't really care type of attitude. Which I saw from him yesterday. I don't know, man. It's some games Bijan just seems like he'll come out and he just seems like he real pumped up. And then some games he comes out and then it's just like he ain't even there. Even with the headache game with Tampa, and I don't know if we ever gonna know the truth. What happened with that? I'm really, really not certain. But as far as the drafting goes, I'm not a fan of the Fontenot / Smith first round draft picks at all. Kyle Pitts tight end to actually kickstart a rebuild. Terry Fontenot and Arthur Smith automatically got on my bad side with that draft pick. I'll never understand the ideology behind that. And Alberto, I don't know if you seen the video. That's one reason, we looked at the video because everybody's blaming that pick on Arthur Smith when in reality it looks like that probably was a Terry Fontenot guy. That's what it looked like on that video to me. Terry looked like he was the happiest guy in the room. Like he had just seen, like he just had his first baby, his first newborn kid. Terry jumping up, high five, and everybody else just sitting there like, yeah, okay, whatever. So we don't know who's doing what. And that's why I say I just listen to what they say. Because I can't play like I know who really doing what and who really ain't doing what. But all three of us tell us that these are joint decisions. Arthur Blank, Fontenot, Arthur Smith, they're all saying these are joint decisions. And I know sometimes in the fan base, we'll try to create our own narrative, even though the Falcons are saying something totally different. But that's how we do as fans. Matty T, what's up? How you feeling, bro? Appreciate you coming through. Says Lions drafted Gibbs 3 or 4 picks out those. Okay, so he was drafted 11th or 12th in that case? Okay, 12th overall. Appreciate it. My guy G, what's up? How you doing, man? Appreciate you coming through, showing love. Says, what's up, Tyler? What's going on with you? How you feeling, man? How you doing? Let's see. T Terry, what's going on, man? Appreciate you coming through. Says the Falcons could be like the old Cowboys. ME said that on his show. I'm not sure you mean to say ME that he liked the Atlanta Falcons. He the Falcon are young. The Falcons are young on offense, just like they were at the time. I can kind of see that. Still got to find that quarterback though, man. That's like the main ingredient that this team is missing. T Terry, and I'm campaigning for Jaden Daniels. Just like I campaigned on the channel last year for CJ Stroud in the draft. This year, y'all, I'm campaigning for Jaden Daniels. So I'm going to let y'all know after the season is over, you'll see a lot of Jaden Daniels content on the page. So like that's my that's who I got my eye on. I done already started tweeting the Falcons already. Like, hey, you need to draft Jaden Daniels. Chris says, what's the blame for Terry? You said Blank will hire who he wants, and he wanted Smith before Terry Smith's selections from the preferred tight ends was what Smith wanted. What can he be blamed for? I think he can be blamed for. He can be blamed partly for the team not winning yet. You know, and we keep talking about the draft picks. Kyle Pitts. Again, going back to the video. Hey man, Kyle Pitts, Drake London, and Bijan in a very pivotal playoff, possible playoff implication game yesterday. Those three guys combined for 72 yards, no touchdowns. Starting to rebuild with a tight end. Hey, I blame you for that. 2 consecutive pass catches in consecutive drafts. That's not real conventional for a rebuilding team. When teams typically rebuild, they don't typically start from skill position players. They don't typically go tight end. Well, other than us, nobody has ever went tight end at 4. We done set a crazy standard once again, but they typically won't go tight end at 4, wide receiver at 8, running back at 8. In an era of football now where the running back is now a low value position, and in an era right now where teams are not even trying to get running backs a second contract. So I think you can blame him for how we drafted. The 2021 draft was virtually an utter failure outside of Dahlman. Everything else on that, blah. So how the team drafted, how they decided to rebuild the team. I think you can all attribute some of that to Terry. But when I make that point, people will find a way to deflect it and say, well, no, it's Arthur Smith's fault because he ain't getting the best out of these guys. But then you go back and look at Arthur Smith in Tennessee. He was getting a lot out of those guys. Ryan Tannehill was never a bum. But under Arthur Smith, he had his best 2 years of his career by far under Arthur Smith. I'm not one of these people that's going to say Arthur Smith made Derrick Henry because Derrick Henry is just God-given talent. But if you go look at the numbers, his most productive years were under Arthur Smith. But he'll come here and everybody will blame him for stuff. Well, this is all Arthur Smith's fault. As far as Desmond Ridder, hey, Terry, you had 3 draft picks. And you had a off season when you had almost $80 million in salary cap. And this is what you gave us, Terry Fontenot, to be our starting quarterback. You came on TV and radio, Terry, and in written publications, Terry, numerous times, Terry, and said you believe in Ridder. So I can blame him for stuff like that. I think as bad as we are, Christy, there's enough blame to go around for everybody. I just don't believe in piling up on Arthur Smith and giving him 1,000% of the blame. And Terry's just sitting over there like a fat rat that he ain't got to worry about now. Like he just big Don. He this big mafia boss, Teflon Don, John Gotti of the Falcons. You can't touch me. I'm tougher than leather. I'm cooler than the polar bear's toenail. I can't be faded. Don't even look my way if you're trying to criticize me. I just can't buy that. I can't buy that one bit. Not one bit. AC Roberts in the building. What's up, AC? It's a great show, Todd. Appreciate you, AZ. Appreciate you coming through, showing some love. Also, appreciate you. Let me see here. Rest of Jaden Daniels will be great in Atlanta, although we do need a pass rush. That's what I'm with, Red. I'm with Red. That's who I'm with. I'm with Jane Daniels. I'm on the Jane Daniels bandwagon. That's who I want the Birds to bring to the A. Jaden Daniels. That's definitely who I got my eye on, Red, for sure. David says we get the same players, but do we get winning players? My thought, no. Yeah. Ring the bell on that. Definitely ring the bell on that. Chris says it's good that you have opened up the thought process for looking at the execs but add whoever hired Smith before Terry, the losses at the coaches and the other staff too. Yeah, and I definitely agree with you on that, Christian. It and that's kind of like Steve was saying earlier, like, hey, everybody can get some blame, and that's why I think it was Sam had asked me. I don't know if he had came in at the time, Christy, but Sam was like, hey man, what do you think the root of the problem is at with the Falcons right now? And I said, man, right at the top, the guy that's signing the checks, the buckhead billionaire. If we continually doing all this losing, only 2 winning seasons out of the last 11 years, I think, which is catastrophically bad. At some point, you got to look up top to Arthur Blank, and that's who ultimately hired Smith, and ultimately who hired Fontenot. And and if you hadn't seen it, Kristen, whoever watching this right now, there is a I might try to find it and link it in the community section. I don't want to play any of it because I just got out of the YouTube dog house. I had been in there for like a year. They finally showed me a little love, so I don't want to go back in the dog house. That's why I kind of cleaned up my language, trying to watch my cuss words as well. But anyway, our former general manager, Thomas Dimitrov, he was on the Rich Eisen show. And Rich Eisen was, I'm like, hey, man, how much input does Arthur Blank really have? And Terry Fontenot. Thomas Dimitrov, he played it professional and political. He was pretty much saying, hey, Arthur has input. He didn't go off the rails and throw Arthur Blank under the bus, and he's definitely not going to do that publicly. He probably wants to get a job in the NFL again, but he was like, hey, that's a whole nother story with Arthur Blank, his input. But he let us know on the sly, yes, Arthur Blank is involved in the decision making of this team. So let's see what else we got here. C Dub says, sorry guys, I was a bit busy and had to take my daughter to see your husband. Hold on. To see her husband because he was in a car accident. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Hope everyone is okay. She's doing okay and he's doing okay, but I'm back. Okay. All right, good. That's good news. Let's ring the bell for everybody being okay. Christian says, what GM wouldn't say they believe in executive supported hires? No one is going to get on TV and lose a job. Exactly. Exactly. And I know you're probably saying that based on something I said earlier, but I don't expect no GM to get on TV. And the same with any player too. We can look at Desmond Ridder now and say, man, he was not good. But I didn't expect Terry Fontenot to get on TV to say, well, I don't really believe in Ridder, but we're gonna give it a shot. That's the professionalism and kind of the politics of the job. C Dub says, as long as we don't have Tebow 2.0 talking about Ridder as well. 3 Dirty. What's up, 3? Appreciate you coming through, showing us love. Is Rich McKay a conflict of interest? I don't know. When you say conflict of interest, 3, like what do you mean? Because I think he's like one of the chairmen of the committees. I think like that, and but I don't know. I know at this point in time, I wouldn't want Rich McKay involved in like player personnel for the Falcons at this point in time. Because if he's been here, like 20 plus years now, 20 years now, and we really ain't got nowhere with Rich McKay, but it's time to take him out of the player personnel part of the Falcons. Now, if Arthur Blank just values him as a friend, as a businessman, I understand that, Blank. I understand that. Can't tell you how to do your mojo, but put him on the business side of the Arthur Blank Enterprises and get somebody else, get another football mind in there. Now, I just don't want to player personnel, coaching, hires, and all that. I don't think Rich McKay should be involved in none of that stuff anymore. Get somebody else in there, man. Get another mind in there. Get another brain. Get some more ears. Get some more eyes. T Dub said, if we get Jaden Daniel, do you think Arthur Smith and Daniel will work? Oh, that's a good question. I do. The unfortunate thing for Arthur Smith is he's probably not going to get that opportunity. I don't see him being retained next year, but I think Daniel is the kind of quarterback that Arthur Smith likes. An athletic quarterback who can run at RPO, but also can pass when he need him to pass. I do think they would work. The only thing Mariota was missing was an arm. And I know you can say that about a bunch of quarterbacks, but Mariota could run that RPO, man. And Mariota, one thing he don't get credit for is he made the offensive line better. And he made the run game vastly better. The running game was way more efficient, proficient, productive because of Marcus Mariota and the stress and strain that he would put on the defense on how they would defend. So it's just unfortunate he didn't have the arm talent that we need. G says blank is seriously a problem. I'm tired of us fans getting finesse every year by the brass. Something has to give. I agree with you on that. And I'm starting to point the finger at him more now, man. Especially, if he don't make any major changes up top, head coach, up in the upper level of the Falcons, you start to wonder, like, hey, is he just content with making money? Has he given up on trying to win? Rusty says, if we fire Arthur Smith and draft the wide receiver in April, we don't know who the problem is. Rusty, I know you joking, but bro, this is the Falcons, dog. They would do something like that. And it's unfortunate that thought is there in my mind because I know they would do something like that. I know they would do something like that. That's just how they work. It's oh boy, that's a whole nother story. 3 Dirty says, what is his position with the Falcons franchise NFL? I forgot what his official title was. Arthur Blank moving every 2 or 3 years. that let me know right there, like, hey, what do y'all got going on? But I forgot what the official title is right now. I think he moved him off actually the Falcon side and put him on the business side. And I think Greg Beatles took his former position, which I forget what it was. It might be vice president or something. I forget. I do forget. Chris says the history of coaches on the Blank family of business since 2002, has not retained a head coach for a 4th year with a winning record like Smith's 2 times 79 seasons, a seemingly regressive 3rd season. Yeah, I would definitely say, Chris, this is a regressive 3rd season. And another piece of Little Falcons history also, Christy, is Arthur Smith is the only coach in the Arthur Blank regime that has not been in the playoffs by their 3rd season. Everybody else by their 3rd season, they were in the playoffs. Arthur Smith is the only one that hasn't been in the playoffs. So more of the reason that it's time to wave goodbye to Mr. Smith. Send him back to FedEx. Let's see. Facebook user says Arthur Smith just not that dude. I wasn't sold on him his first year. I never was like really sold on Arthur Smith, to be honest, man. I don't know. It was just something about him that I was just like, I don't know about this guy. I just don't know. I never was a big Arthur Smith guy, man. I really wasn't. Celso dude, that was the dude that was fired by the Chargers, had a better record than Smith. I didn't know that. I had no idea. I did not know that at all. That's news to me right there. G says Falcons always screw up on draft days. Let's ring the bell on that because they do. I don't understand it. They always leave you scratching your head. Yep, G. And that's some of the reason that I say Fontenot has to get some of the blame also. That's some of the reason. He's a general manager. So I just don't feel like you can totally eliminate him, especially when we know we have issues with the draft. And man, this again was a good discussion, y'all. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to also Christy who provided some great statements, some great questions. So I really appreciate this, man. The for whatever reason, the Terry Fontenot topic is a very intriguing topic. This was, I think, a great discussion. With people having different opinions about the topic. So I don't know. Maybe seasons end, we'll come back and revisit the Terry Fontenot topic. We talked about it for 2 days, and again, I thank y'all coming through, showing some love, communicating with me on it as well. Also, let me give a special shout out to my guy Sean J from ATL Sports. It's Terry Fontenot, which I do agree with. I don't think he'll be fired. I don't want him fired. I think he should escape. No blame. He said earlier, man, it's enough. It's enough blame to go by for everybody within the Falcons. And y'all make sure to also check out Sean J. ATL is on YouTube. I'm telling y'all, when it comes to breaking down Falcons film, he's the best in the business at it. And we don't have a lot of content creators that actually break down film that's solely dedicated to Falcons. So we got a jewel and Sean. So y'all make sure that y'all run up his likes, run up his shares, and run up his subs. You will not be disappointed. Trust me. Definitely one of the best in the business. Rusty said, "Told you for everyone." Yeah, dang. I got this. I guess ultimately you were right, Rusty, because I plan to do the player grades, but that Terry Fontenot conversation just became so compelling. It became so much, such good dialogue that didn't even get a chance to do the player grade. So we'll ring the bell for Rusty giving an F for everybody. Let's just give everybody an F this week. But yeah, we're about to check out here, man. If any news breaks in regards to Smith being fired, which probably ain't gonna happen now since we're so late in Monday evening. But maybe if we lose our next game, maybe so. If not, they'll probably just ride him out the rest of the year and fire him on Black Monday. We'll be back. Other than that, man, we probably won't be back into the Waffle House on Friday. But again, I appreciate y'all time, man. Appreciate all the love, the interaction, man. I really appreciate that more than anything. Krista says the Terry discussion was different. It was different, Chris, and I think that's what made it so great and so compelling. And I want to also just thank you, for being a driving force in the comment section. Replying during the Terry Fontenot dialogue. It was a great conversation, man. But again, appreciate everybody, man. Much love to everybody. I hope everybody has a blessed week. And as always, y'all be safe. Peace.